Now that we have deployed our code, I'm sure you're very curious to see what actually has been deployed in your Google BigQuery environment. So let's switch into that. So what you see here is my BigQuery environment, where you can see my multiple schemas that have been deployed by the full speed auto deployment capability. So looking to my foundation layer schema, where you see your raw data vault artifact, you see all the object listed over here that has been deployed. Just to pick up as one example, I can go and look to my satellites of my invoice lines. So if I click on it, I can see straight away basically the details, where I can see all the columns I have generated for my satellite of my invoice lines, where you can see clearly my details and also my metadata columns like the load cycle ID, the hash key, load date, and stuff like that. Well, you can see more details over here, and if you're interested to see what kind of data, you will see over there. There it is. I've loaded quite some data into my satellite, and you see here basically all the data was loaded with the calculated hash difference, with the, I would say, timing, and all the metadata that you were needing to kind of safeguard into your satellites. How did we load the data? Well, by executing the Voltspeed generated code. What have been generated? Well, if you look into here, we can see that, well, looking into my routines, running this query, I can see that Voltspeed have generated for this environment here about 234, I would say, routines. And then all these routines are of type procedures. You can see them obviously by querying them by using the information schema, or you can go right away into the catalog where my procedures are stored. And my catalog schema is basically the proc schema where you see all the routines. If you're curious to see what we actually have generated, so well, if you go into the satellite, that should be down into my list here, satellites, you will see that we have two types of loading procedures, an initial load and an incremental load. So let's have a look to the incremental load of my satellite invoices I just showed you a second ago. If you go over here, satellite of my invoice lines, that's the one I showed you. Here it is, invoice line incremental. This is the code generated by Voltspeed, where you can see all the details of the hash diff calculations, basically the metadata columns, everything is available over here to you to kind of have a look and understand what kind of Voltspeed logic has been generated for your artifacts. Thank you for watching.